Hello, everybody, and welcome to Maximum Libertarian. I am Brian. I'm joined here today by the one and only. What's your name?
Dean, Dean Davison,
There we
past
go, Dean
candidate
Davidson.
and new chair of the Libertarian Party of Virginia.
Yes, new chair of the Libertarian Party of Virginia. That's a whole nother topic.
Whole nother
For
topic.
that'll be another day, like I said, another topic. But what I first and foremost, please, if you're watching here on YouTube, uh, click the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and what should they do?
Smash that like button. I have to look for that smasher because I might need it Sunday.
Right. Smash the like button
Smash it.
and share it with your friends and family. Help us out. Help us grow this channel because we want to turn it into something more than what it is already. But the topic that I wanted to bring up today was I saw the Second Constitution group. They meet on the Mondays in Christiansburg. Well, let's bring it up real quick. And let's see. Oh, there it is. As you can see, it says Youngkin lied. Parents don't matter. And what are they referring to? Well, Mr. Youngkin has said he won't try to block local mask and vaccine mandates like other Republican governors. The Second Monday Constitution group, they're going to be holding a rally protesting about this because one of the reasons that they, supported and voted for Mr. Youngkin, governor-elect, was because they thought they were going to have their kids protected from the vaccine mandates, the mask mandates, and things to that nature. Just off the real quick before we even get too deep into this, well, what's your thoughts about this, Dean?
Well, first off, as a libertarian, or as a principled libertarian, I should say, you know, it's really a libertarian way he's doing it. He's allowing the local government, the locals, to decide what's right and whether to impose a mandate or not. It's up to the local people, up to the parents. Well, really, it's up to, if the local government, and a lot of them are going to not, there's Bedford County, a lot of these places don't, the mandates are there, but, there are a lot of fighting going on in school boards to say, shouldn't be mandatory. I think it should be up to the local school boards, up to the parents, and ultimately up to local government, not state government, to make that decision. He's allowing the government to work the way it's meant to work, which is a local to take care of the localities and not, as a state, overburden the localities on what they think they should do. So, quite frankly, I'm actually pretty impressed by Glenn Youngkin's stance, whether people like it or don't. Most of these places are local to here, at least in the red areas, would be, pretty much opposing masks anyway. So he's allowing locals to do what they want, and I think it's a good way to govern. And we'll see how it works out. I mean, there's going to be people that are pissed, and there's going to be people that are happy about it, depending on where you live. So, quite frankly, it's up to the local government and local school boards to make that decision for you. And if you don't like what's in the school board, take them out. Take them out with a run for office and take them on the next time they come around. So,
well, see, the problem with you and that idea is take them out, and yeah, I do believe if you don't like the way the government's being ran, you should run for office. But the problem
look at
that
this
you
moron.
well, the problem that you have is, I believe, individual freedoms and liberties. So Youngkin got a little bit closer to the right thing, I guess. But in reality, he's still wrong because it should be the individual who gets to decide if they're going to take the vaccine, and it should not be up. It should not be up to Roanoke City government, who is
I agree.
fully Democrat, and they're going to force the possible workers And
You're right. It should be up. It
the
should be up.
school, and like you can see this. So in turn, I can't sit here. I think what you're seeing, honestly, is, and I hope he's got other policies that are better than that, because the only reason, and really I wasted a vote if that's what he thought, because the only reason I voted for the guy was because I don't like mandates, and I don't like the passports. I don't like the fact that the government's using businesses to do things that are illegal, that they can't do. So what they're doing is they're saying, hey, we can't force a mandate on anybody to get the vaccine. We can't force anybody to do this, but we're going to allow Food Line and Kroger and all that stuff.
Well,
But
here's
so
the good.
what?
I guess here's the good news on that. There's some good news on that end. I don't know if you read it. Well, you're right. Ultimately it's up to the individual. It's whether they get the shot or not. We've had this many times. I've been boosted and vaccinated. You, I believe, haven't been, and it's up to you whether you do. And I have no right to force you to do anything. At the same time, Glenn Youngkin's moved further away from allowing state government to control things to more of a local government. It needs to go back to the individual. Yes, absolutely. That's where it needs to go. But is it a step in the right direction when you come to the part that local governments will have more control over their constituents versus the state? That could be good. But he may back out and rechange that as he sees things go on. I don't think he's going to stick with just this idea. He's going to see how it works, and when it doesn't, if it doesn't work, he'll just modify it. Now, up to the people, over 100 people in your workplace, OSHA, the Fifth Circuit Court, and OSHA will not accept that and will not be enforcing the 100 employee or
Oh,
more.
OSHA would enforce it, but the
No.
courts
They
told them to
claimed they
stop.
came out and said that they will not, because the judges
Yes,
in the court
because the court told them
said that they
not to
will
do
not
it.
do it and they will not enforce it.
And then
So
once again, here we go. We've got a government out of control. People have gladly got on their hands and knees like dogs and accepted this nonsense.
are we
And I'm
better off?
sorry.
Are we better off
No,
with
we are
Youngkin?
not better off. What's that?
Are we better off with Youngkin than we would be with McAuliffe, though? That's the question I'll give you.
You know what? I don't know. If
You've
this is
seen
the type
McAuliffe
of,
in action.
well, I wasn't impressed with McAuliffe, but if this is the best that we're going to get out of, look, I just heard
I want him to do what he says he's
I
going to do,
just
which
I just
is
heard I just heard Michael Malice say on Tim Pool's podcast. He said, "What's the difference between conservative and progressives?" And he said the only difference is conservatives drive the speed limit. They're both headed towards progressive socialism. That's the truth. Uh,
you
they
look at it.
got
Yeah.
and look. Sorry to let everyone know this, but they should know this. The Second Monday Constitution Group, who is a phenomenal group, I really do like them. They got hoodwinked, and I think when you sit here and I see this stuff, and I go, "Oh my gosh, Glenn Youngkin lied to us." Well, when hasn't a Republican lied to you? You
When
know,
there's a Democrat
I
lie
haven't.
to
You know, when Donald Trump was in office, was it like our debt went down? No, it went up.
no, but it's not
Um,
skyrocketing like it is right now. That's for
Oh,
sure.
yes, it was. Yes, it was.
It's
I'm
worse now.
glad.
It's worse now.
No, 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 no. We cannot pretend that it's worse now under an old, feeble, worthless Biden
Okay, so at least
compared
you agree
to.
with that on me. That he's worthless.
I mean, neither one of their policies. Look, we're getting inflation because of the policies put in place by Donald J. Trump. All
And I
right.
read something interesting. I read that we had in 2020 we had the stimulus checks, and now in 2021 we have the inflation that may have been caused by the stimulus checks.
Yeah.
So here's a wake up call to you. And then thirdly, on that aspect, I mean, I said let the guy give the guy a chance, just to not hang him on one subject. He said he's going to get rid of the gas tax and the grocery tax. Let's see if he does it. We need to hold his foot to the fire. That's the
Look,
answer.
well, the only way I think we can truly hold people's feet to the fire is to get actual candidates, good candidates to run. I'm
I
watching
tried.
Larry Sharp in New York City, and this guy is running a campaign like I wish we had. Like Rob Sarvis back in
Absolutely.
2013 ran a great campaign, and
He's a torchbearer, in my opinion, to the idea of where a libertarian party should be going when it comes to
he
campaigning.
you know what he definitely holds is this is if you want to run a statewide campaign, this is how we've got to do it. And I think a lot of times people just want a candidate on the ballot. We'll use the third candidate from this year was Princess Blanding. She had no support. She got
Total
no
fool.
money. And it's not that I just like I look, I didn't agree with her policies and I still don't agree with that Liberation Party. I think they're
Well, they're trying to
worthless.
grow. I'll tell you that much.
But yeah, they're trying to, but they're going to be just like us. Just ask Andrew Yang, who's you know, he's starting a third party called Ford, and he's trying to be centrist, and he's going to fall into the same thing that the libertarians fall into. Democrats will shut him down, and Republicans will shut him down. And when these groups, such as the Tea Party or a Constitution group or whatever, Occupy movements, they when you get in bed with these animals, and then you're shocked that they're not going to follow through with what they're promising you. You know,
You can
it's
only go so much
strange.
for the promise. It's like, you know, it's all about holding people's feet to the fire. If you think I'm done holding Terry Alston's feet to the fire, you got another thing coming. I
Right.
mean, I'm going to keep pushing for him to see some of the ideas I had, which were really good ideas, and see forth that he puts them up. And actually, he doesn't seem as interested as Sam Rizzo at this point. Sam Rizzo actually likes the idea for broadband towers on fire and EMS grounds, and wants me to email him that and probably meet with him at some point on possibly drafting legislation on it. So, you know, I'm going to find a way to take some of my campaign ideas and try to get them through this. If I didn't win in the fact of winning the election, but I won a lot of hearts and minds, and I've made the party go forward with my campaign. I'm surely proud of that. I'm proud of having you as my campaign manager. And I think Roanoke City next year needs to get ready. I think we need to have a couple people, like yourself and Caesar, need to jump on the horse. Caesar's already been talking to me about it, and ride that horse. I think.
Yeah, but there's no point in jumping on a horse and riding if you're not going to be able to have a good campaign. Unless you're just saying, hey, look, I just want to be a paper candidate, which is fine. But I think when you say something like that, people will know exactly. I don't have no intentions of winning, and I'm just going to be, like I said, a paper candidate. Um, let's
I,
real
for
quick
one,
get in. Let's
was
get
not
into
a
this.
paper candidate.
No, but a lot of people are, and if you're not prepared to run for a position, and you don't have the funds, you don't have the help and things to that nature. And there's some people that will just come out and say, "Look, I don't want someone to be by themselves on the ballot, so I'm going to put my name on the ballot. I'm not going to do anything. I'll answer all the questions, but I'm not going to do anything else." You know,
Yep.
and if that's what you want to do, more power to you, you know. But let's just go through this article real quick. It's from WIRIC.com.
Richmond
Yeah, it's an ABC News affiliate, and it
in the
just
good.
goes down here, and it just says Virginia can expect a shift in vaccine and mask mandates once Governor-elect Glenn Youngkin is sworn in, and he said he will not mandate masks and vaccines, but unlike other Republican governors, he will not attempt to block localities from implementing their own requirements. Localities are going to have to make the decision the way the law works, and that way it's going to be up to the individual decisions. But again, from the officer's office, you won't see mandates from me. Um,
Here's the thing there. If you want to wear a mask in a store, if you want to wear a mask in big crowds, wear a mask. If you don't. That's your choice.
mhm. That's true, but once again, if you have localities doing something that's not proper, not legal, are we just going to turn a blind eye because, well, that's the locality?
Nope. we need to stand up against it. I'm not saying right and wrong. It's more
Because
right than wrong.
if I'm saying, hey, I don't want a vaccine, but now I'm going to I'm going to be forced to get a vaccine at my workplace, possibly. You know, so
That's
what
not fair to
I'm
you're.
going to be forced to. And now people can say, oh, go quit, and I do understand that thing, but let's be reality. Reality is people have got now. If I can just quit, lose my house, lose my car, live on the street, great.
That's not the way to go. I mean, you need to do a living, so you need to have some kind of a ability to do so. And individual liberty and libertarianism,
And while we're
again,
at it,
constitutionally.
why don't we mandate the flu vaccine? Why don't we mandate everyone be healthy weight? You only can eat this amount of food.
Well,
Why don't we
people would
mandate
murder
that?
people over that.
Well, that's what we should do. Everyone wants to get into my face and tell me that I should be vaccinated. That why? Why not mandate everything else? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and like I said, you shouldn't have to be mandated to do anything. Shouldn't be a mandate. It should be a choice, and that's always
No.
been my.
Now here's Ralph Northam. He said, let's see, he has never he has mandated vaccinations or weekly testing for state employees, although he supports requirements from the private sector and local governments. But he has stopped short of ordering vaccine mandates for teachers and healthcare workers at the state level, as some Democrat governors do. Now, I know you asked me earlier, do I think we would be better off without with McAuliffe? No, McAuliffe, I don't think was very good. So no, I don't think he's any better. But I don't think we're going to get some. I think people thinking that Glenn Youngkin's going to be the savior is getting. I got a bridge to sell you.
I think it's going to be more. I think it's going to be more centrist based than it's going to be Republican based in all reality because he is not coming in that just that statement. He's not coming across as what you would consider your base hardcore Republican. He's hitting more of a centrist Republican view when it comes to that because he's kind of like let the localities decide. We've always said, localities should decide for themselves on laws and things, which is always good. But then again, like you said, the individual should be the ultimate decider on this. Uh, you should be deciding whether you want the vaccine or you don't want it, and shouldn't have to take it if you don't want to. I took the vaccine. It was a choice I made based on the science and the data that I've looked at and what I do. So, and who and the living arrangements. I just think it was the best choice for me, but it's not the best choice for everybody. And I'll never tell somebody that they need to do something, need to get a vaccine. And I don't think we're done. I don't think we're done. I think there's a lot of things going on in the school systems and locally that are just getting pushed to the top now. I mean, school boards were opposed. I mean, Bedford County, both the people that ran write-ins won. Okay, write-in
Cool.
candidates, the Republicans. So the question is, do we continue to try to write these bad people that are running out and replace them with more sensible people with better ideas? Yeah. Do we hold the accountability on the board of supervisors who are really doing stupid shit right now and could be doing a lot better and more things for the people in the district? Absolutely. Will I hold? If I'm still living in this area, will I be holding a supervisor accountable? Sure will. 2023. You heard it first. I'm still in this area. I'm running for board of supervisors. It's we need to change at local government, and as libertarians, we need to start local and move from there. House delegates, I think, still living a little too high of a rope for us. I think we need to start at town councils, board of supervisors races, water planning commissions, things like that, where we have the opportunity to win without a lot of work. It's going to be based on who you are, not really the party, because a lot of it's nonpartisan. But at the same day, at the end of the day, people know, I'm a libertarian. Everybody else knows I'm a libertarian. If I win that position, I might have to be classified as a nonpartisan independent, even though they don't do that in Bedford. I believe it's party based. Um, or if it's not, they can after they're done to say what they are. Um, you know, you got to attack it the way you got to attack it,
Right.
and quite frankly, I saw a couple things that really aggravates me, and it's just the same old, same old. We go into Youngkin and everything, we go into the collection. At the end of the day, Democrats pulled the left, and Republicans pulled the right. 604 in my district, 640 people decided I was the best option for the. That's a lot of people for. That's a pretty good, decent amount of people if you think about it for a first time running candidate and with the funds I had and the help I had. I mean, I did what I could do, and do I? I'm happy with what I've accomplished. I'm happy with now having the name recognition to people around town. Heck, I went up to my foot doctor today, and people when I talked to one of the valets that I used to work with there, and she's like the manager now, and she's like, "Oh yeah, we've seen your candidate cards." So I guess people go up to Louisville, your candidate cards in these people's cars. So I mean, people have kept it. People know who I am now. It's a good feeling because I want what's best for the people, and we got to stop this. We got to learn from our mistakes and in the Libertarian Party and move on and move forward.
Well, I
Start
guess really what we need, not us in particular, I think there's things that the libertarians need to do to change. But I think really what we've got to do, and more importantly, organizations, instead of blindly voting for the Democrat or the Republican or the Libertarian, you should really look at the candidate and what you believe and pick the right person. I think right now, if Princess Blanding would have been had a few more, well, we've had some issues where I would have been more in agreement with. I would have gladly have voted for her. But
there was
when
not enough. There was not
there
enough there for
was
me to even
no,
think about it.
there was not enough there for me, and but I thought she should have been on the debate stage. And really, once again, I can't blame Glenn Youngkin. I'm not going to blame any of their elected officials. Uh, well, they get the final blame, I guess, but I guess really a lot of the blame falls on the voter being so uninformed and blindly voting for a Democrat and Republican. Until that stuff changes, what you've got is what you've got, and that's a sad, sad thing.
What we need is a reform. What the Reform Party did, or what independent uh, Ross Perot. He was, I guess, the one person that kind of, if he would have stayed in the race, I think it would have gotten better results than he did when he ran. I look at him and I think about, after post election, I think about he was the one third party candidate that was able to get the most votes in a presidential election. And a lot of his was grassroots stuff too. So it was like, why can't we do it? What can we learn from past elections and election for president and locally that we can add to our ammunition when we
Right.
run? And
All
I think
right.
that's a big thing.
Absolutely. All right. What we're going to do is we're going to go on and end this video because I want to get into the election and things of that nature with your campaign in a few minutes. So we're going to do a second video, and but I wanted to end it here. I hope Youngkin hasn't already sold out, but if I'm a betting man, get ready, get prepared. I think Glenn Youngkin's going to do just exactly what Terry McAuliffe and the rest of the
I
Democrats have done.
say just have your lube on standby because it might be needed.
Yes, because look, the only one that I might have a little bit of faith in, from my understanding, is Winsome Sears. But when I listened to her speak, she didn't have the excitement level that some of the other higher ups have.
And I
So
think
once again,
Miaris is going to do all right in your attorney
so
general too.
mm, we maybe, but he's also passed or he tried to push through legislation for red flag laws, and he also, I think, voted against the marijuana bill that went
Yeah.
through.
So
So
yeah,
let's be honest. He's this guy who's fighting for the average Joe. So let's end it right there, and we will come back on in a minute with you, Dean. So thank you all for watching this video, staying to the end, I hope, and please subscribe to our channel. click the notification bell, and what else should they do?
Smash that like button.
That's right. Smash the like button and then go over to Twitter. Follow us there at We Are Max Lib, and that's where you'll find all the articles that we speak about when we have these video conference, little video chats with you. So until next time, I'm Brian.
Dean here.
All right, we'll see you later.